Brendan, not a question we normally start off with, but how was the Pope? How was the visit to the Vatican?
Yeah, well, it was obviously a real privilege for us all to have the invitation to go there, and a really humbling experience, and it felt like a life achievement to meet him, and it was so nice. I think everyone that came out of the room that morning felt really privileged and really honoured.
Now, when you look back on the game, you had time to reflect. What was your reflections on the match now that you've had a couple of days to think it through?
Well, disappointing with the result, of course. We performance level again wasn't probably what I would have expected, but we were still in the game going into the last 10 minutes, but unfortunately gave away 2 disappointing goals. So and I thought going into the last 20 minutes we were the team on the ascendancy, and looked like we could cause them a problem, and which would have been a really good away performance, but sadly for us it didn't work out that way.
Spain Chancellor Johnson there, and there's a sort of quiet confidence within him that there is that progression, and they are, as a squad, very, very close to where you want to be. Is that sort of you share that sort of similar reflection?
Yeah, I still think there's a way for us to go. I think if you look currently now, the players that we're missing are dynamic players that give that dynamism to the team, and of course it's something that during my time here I want to develop that even more. To be a team that has that power and unpredictability as well as the creativity. So that's something that will be done over time. But in the meantime, I think we've shown at that level, the 11v11, that we can certainly compete. And in some games we've played it to a really high level. But it's about consistency and quality at the level, and that's something that we would need to improve if we're going to improve a European record.
You mentioned the need for that quality after the match. I suppose there's one or two grumblings within the fan base that why was that quality not added in the summer? Was the sort of reflection considering the number that you brought in? How would you react to that sort of thinking?
No, listen, supporters have every right to ask and demand for the highest level expectations, and that's what we demand here also. So yeah, I think there was an anticipation in the summer that a number of players were going to move on. So replacement players were brought in that were ready to come in and develop, but that didn't happen. And then we ended up with a bigger squad than what we anticipated. But there's no doubt going forward now, the squad will come down in numbers, and obviously we need to add quality. Like I say, there's no dressing it up. For the group lost real quality players in the summer, so that's something over the coming windows that we will look to improve on.
Is there a confidence from yourself when you look at the scouting network already in place, the money that was talked about, the AGM, and the strong financial position of the club, that confidence that those quality players will be added soon, and will allow the squad to grow even further? Well,
that's the ambition. That's the ambition of the club. Then of course that will happen. I think that it's the club have been so well run for so many years, and from a domestic perspective, it's that's been highlighted and how the club has achieved and what the titles it has achieved. So I think the next step is the European side, and that's why I came back, to hopefully be able to fulfil that in my time here.
Just talking about that, Brendan, at the end of the window you said that you would have liked to add 1 or 2 more players. You said that every manager would like to do that, but coming to the end of this Champions League campaign, has that changed your mind at all as the winter window starts? Loom, do you feel you might need to add 1 or 2 more, or is it just the same you did at the end of the summer window? No,
listen, I felt when I came in here in the summer that with the squad that was already in place from last season, that we probably needed 4 players, and by that I meant 4 quality players to add to the squad. Now, how the game works, you lose players, and there was players that were earmarked to come in prior to me coming here. So, but that's absolutely fine. There's no problem. We've got young talents here that will develop and grow, and that's the model of the club. But of course, to continue to improve and grow, you need to also have players that are established, because they help bring those players on. So, and I'm very, very confident that we can do that over the coming windows. So I think once we get some of our players back, Dyson and Leila Bada, very important players for us. Rio Atati, when he comes back in January, will be like a new signing for us, and he'll be great. But there's no doubt that we have to add extra quality. We don't need quantity of players. You need quality, and that's how you improve.
Have you had these discussions with the people above you, the people that make those transfer decisions, and do you see it more as a January topic, or, as we often see, are the biggest signings more likely to be made in the summer at the end of the season?
Yeah, it's ongoing. My sole focus at the moment is the priorities, the players that we have, maximising what they're bringing to the game up and so far this season, without having a sort of settled sort of team probably and squad. Through 3 injuries, the players have performed domestically very well, and in Europe they've had some really good moments. But the beauty I know is, and the excitement for me is, I know I'll only improve, I'll only get better, and that's what I look forward to. And it doesn't necessarily, of course, all have to be in January, because the right players might not be available. It might be the summer, but certainly over my time here, we will want to improve the depth and the quality of the team.
The Champions League obviously changes format a bit next year. 8 matches, 4 home, 4 away. I think Chris was speaking at the AGM about the monetary value of getting into that competition. I wonder, how different do you think that will make your chances of progression or whatnot, into player growth or just general competitiveness, now that changes to that sort of Swiss League format as of next season?
Yeah, I think it adds, in every way, it adds great, from a football perspective, it gives great experience and probably opportunity for us in terms of, if you were playing in that you would definitely improve from a football level. From a financial perspective, of course, naturally you get more games, so you're going to definitely improve from a financial perspective. So but as always, you have to get there and you have to do the job, and that's our only focus.
Can I just take you back to what you said? Obviously it's harder to maybe sign possibly established players in January because it's mid-season, clubs don't want to let them go. Is that maybe something that the fans will have to bear in mind when they have kind of expectations going into the window as well?
No, listen, I think supporters have every right. They want their team to be the very best it can be, and if there's an opportunity to improve it in a January window, then they will always like to do that. So our ambitions are the same. Whether it's the manager of the club, we want to always be progressing. It's a club that's very forward thinking and wants to improve. So if January we can do that, then I'm pretty sure the club will give us every chance to improve the team.
And obviously you said that the squad will reduce in numbers. Do you have players who are maybe accepting of the fact that they will need to move on to get the game time that they're looking for as well? Is that a process that's ongoing? Yeah,
it's a process, but it's only natural. Every player in this moment in time certainly won't feel as if they're pushed out. They're all involved. They work hard in training. They make the sacrifices in training because they know that, one, if they're not playing, that they may get the chance to come in, and two, if January does come and an opportunity is there for them, then they know they need to be physically ready and fit in order to take that. So the spirit and everything in the team and the squad is very, very good. But of course, as I said, there's a lot of players, and some of them aren't playing. And if you're that far away from the first team, then it can be difficult. But I haven't seen that in terms of attitude. The players, their commitment and attitude has been first class.
Looking ahead to the weekend then, Brendan, how important is it to get back to winning ways in the league?
Very, very. The demand is to win every game. So for us, not a great result for us last weekend. Could have won the game, should have won the game, but still could have created more, could have played with more tempo and more speed in our game. So we have a good few days training. We'll do our final preparation tomorrow, and then probably will be a similar game next weekend. St Johnstone, who obviously Greg's gone in and used his experience, got them organised, They'll defend deep and with numbers, so we have to have the speed in our game, the tempo, the quality, in order to break through that.
Who is the squad from coming back from last year? Was anyone you expecting to come back, or any knocks or bumps or bruises?
No, I don't think there's anyone that has been out that would be available for the weekend.
Everyone came out clean from that game. No one's.
Yeah, there was no further injuries.
You enjoy coming up against Craig Levine? Obviously, he's very experienced.
Yeah, no, he's obviously had a very good career. Craig looked like he was staying on your side, on the media side, but got itchy feet and came back in. So, no, listen, he's a manager of experience and obviously has some outstanding quality. So he's obviously gone in and settled them down and got them structured and playing to a shape that makes them difficult to beat.